What are you willing to swallow first thing in the morning? Good morning, fans and listeners. It's your second segment of Almost Daily Zencast. First thing in the morning for you today. I rambled about stuff and conspiracy theories. Boom. Now we're back. We're going to shake all that craziness off for a hot second and talk about what we ingest first thing in the morning. Western culture has us addicted to a drink that maybe one day, way back in the old ancient times, when we made it different and it wasn't mass produced and commercialized and questionably harvested, coffee is the most commonly accepted, the most popular of the crazy things we tolerate in this world. And I was addicted to it until a week ago today. Today is officially day 7 of Mr. Zeppo's personal real life coffee alternative X3 replacement challenge. As originally envisioned, I had hoped, or I had envisioned, as originally envisioned, I had envisioned the redundancy of my own manner of speaking on purpose. No, I had originally imagined that I would compare and contrast. I have failed you, dear audience. It's been 7 days, and I am not able, despite having been drinking this coffee alternative for 3 days, I'm unable to compare and contrast because, as I what's the phrase I'm looking for? So humorously conceived of before I even started this. The moment I decided, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to order these 3 products, I'm going to drink all 3 products, I'm going to talk about all 3 products, my mad scientist modality kicked in. Like the part of my brain that's like, I am a mad scientist! What can I do with this crazy thing? That part of me, that voice in my head said, what if? And he does always talk with like that weird sort of movie British mad scientist fake accent. What if we combined all 3 of them? Right? Like instantly, before I even actually paid. Like I was just committed intellectually. I was like, I'm going to do this. Let's make this happen. I want to stop drinking coffee. And out of all the coffee alternative products I've seen out there, these 3 have made me want to buy them. I'm a good consumer, buying things that sound good. I say that with sarcasm. I think I'm pretty cynical and critical, and I think I'm capable of my own free thinking. And that was my big curiosity when I had decided these are the products that seem like they might do the trick. As I braced myself for the economic impact, my brain was like, don't worry about how much it costs. We'll make millions. I'm like, I don't know where that comes from, buddy. But there's a part of me that's always like, don't worry about the money. You'll make millions. I'm like, okay, I don't know about that. But I knew intuitively, for those of you who've been following along and not skipping these episodes, when I first one of the three got here first, like earlier than the other two. When I first opened the tin of Everyday Dose, which, if you're curious, you can get your own starter kit. The coolest thing about that starter kit is that gunmetal scooper. Super awesome. I really like it. Their update on Daily Dose in general. For those of you who already know, they made a great first impression. I appreciated that they're local and they get here quickly. That's irrelevant. That's just because I'm local. I liked their aesthetic. I liked their whole vibe. I liked the packaging. Also kind of irrelevant, but I guess meaningful in today's market. And I was struck by the aroma, the aromatics of it, right? Like I warned you before, if you order this product, and yes, there are discount links dropping in today's episode in the comments as soon as it posts when I'm done recording and it goes to Sprecher. I don't know if that'll show up in the podcatchers that you might be listening to this on. So if there's ever been a reason for you to come on down to Sprecher.com, it might be this. You might be interested. And here's why. No one is paying me, you guys. And I know that I sound like an idiot every time I say that. But it's the truth. If anybody at all ever ends up paying me for doing this, it's going to be all of y'all for listening to the advertising. Right? That's the way the world works. That's our digital marketplace. Woo! So no one's paying me for this. And I am obsessed with this new drink. I gave away an almost full tin of coffee that I was resisting the urge to drink 3 cups of every day, mostly successfully. And I'm not looking back. I don't miss coffee. I do miss the aroma of coffee, but I am enamored. I am inured. Is that the right word? I'm quite fond of the aromatics of this new morning ritual. Oh, right. So I was going to talk about Dose real quick. Head on over to everydaydose.com. Regular spelling, everydaydose, D-O-S-E. All one blur together.com. Check it out. You can read about their ingredients. You can read about their philosophy. You can read about why the guy who founded it, etc., etc., etc. So what did I want to talk about them for? Oh, right. They came in first. I really liked them. And I began this challenge, quote unquote, this experiment with the idea like I'll drink Everyday Dose for a few days and then for let's say 3 days. And then the other products will show up and I'll drink one of them for 3 days and one of them for 3 days. And then I'll mix them together. That was the plan. The moment that my delivery of Rise mushroom coffee and Mud Water, a coffee alternative, showed up in the mail, I was so excited. The first thing I did, totally throwing the plan right out the window, was mix the 3 together. Now, I've been obsessed with this ever since. And I'm sure it's not the intended recipe or like plan by any of these individual companies. And y'all will forgive me if you guys end up listening to this. I'm an enthusiastic endorser, promoter, advocate for all 3 of these products individually. So dear friends and audience members, if my silly ramblings about this have piqued your curiosity, head on over to everydaydose.com. But first, oh yeah, and also risesuperfoods.com. That's R-Y-Z-E, superfoods. And that's only 1 P for my fellow dyslexics and bad spellers. And or Mudwater, which is M-U-D-W-T-R. No vowels in the second word. WTR, mudwater.com. But before you go to either of the three or all three, if you can swing it, friends, like I'm not a wealthy person. I'm not a man of means, right? Probably why I'm single in this day and age. But I also, I can swing this for a bit. And I'm hoping that my fortunes will turn in the not too distant future and this podcast will become my work from home media empire. And so I speak it to manifest it. I would love, genuinely, honestly, sincerely, I would love to never drop or object strike a thing during a show ever again. But that's not what I was about to say. I would genuinely, sincerely, absolutely, enthusiastically love to permanently replace any and all coffee from now and forever with this combination of Dose, Rise, and Mudwater. Let's take a quick mental break. Let's play a little music. I updated the playlist, folks. Sorry about that blunder this morning. That opening bit, that was the first half of Start That Thing Up and Dance. DJ Zed remixing the Ultra Trap digital asset package on Remix Live. This next one is Ancient Beats Brass Breakin'. DJ Zed mixing Trap Remix live for you. Give it up for DJ Zed. Right. So, friends, I exaggerated a little bit a second ago. I did indeed on that first day, that third day, and I think I talked about this on the day 3 episode. On the day 3 when they all came in, I did try, at some point, my memory's a little blurry, you'll forgive me. At some point I tried a cup of Dose, a cup of Rise, and a cup of Mudwater. Each have their own interesting qualities. Oh, I may not have overtly talked about this on day 3. I recorded this on day 3 in a field notes fashion. And I've yet to get my ass together and package that into clips so that I can play it. I shoulda, coulda, woulda done it for today. So I could play you right now some of the first impression thoughts from when I made each of these cups separately. Well, the Dose ones are all in day 0, I think. At any rate, I'll do another episode in the not too distant future. These will be relatively short, actually, so probably no commercial break in the middle. Enjoy that little bonus. So, to review really quickly, Everyday Dose has the most interesting and sort of it can get in your face and be overwhelming aroma profile. But that's not so much the smell. It isn't the aroma. It's so much if you stick your nose in the jar, it's such a fine powder, it can get a little oh, it's up in my face and it hurts. And that hurts, but feels weird. But each of them have their own unique aroma profile. Each of them have their own unique flavor profile. And each of them stand alone as a quality product that I would drink and that I would encourage any friend, any social media acquaintance, and any audience member who wants to get a fucking discount to get the discount code in the comments. It should be, because no one leaves comments on my Spreaker.com profile. It should be the very first comment on this episode. It'll be all three. The link to the website, and it'll be the name of the website and the discount link for that website, for that product. Having said all that, here's what's happened. I spent the rest of last week getting up every morning and trying to pick one of the remaining two to just drink. And I was like, no, I really, really like the mix. And then I started experimenting with that. I have found that both for economy and sort of balance, less than 1/3 of a scoopful, using the gunmetal tablespoon scoop from Everyday Dose, but getting only about 1/3 of a scoop from each, right? And then I put them in a Starbucks travel mug that I use for the mixing process. I boil some water. I put enough water in the cup to use the whisker, the electric whisk machine that came with mud water, and then I use that to blend the hot water, the boiling water, and the three different products. Then I set that aside. I have a little towel or a little paper thing, paper towel or a regular towel, like a coffee rag, set aside so I can put that out, because that is going to drip and that is going to splooge everywhere. But fascinatingly, unlike coffee, this cleans up really well. This cleans up really easy and doesn't seem to stain very badly. I think it's because it's not oily in the way that coffee has lots of oils. But put a pin in that. We'll come back and talk about that some more at another episode. Because I might do some weird technical experiments. Like, does this stain clothes? Does it come off really easy? But, I gotta set that up. Or allow for the happy accident for spilling on myself. Oh, actually, I just remembered something that happened and that I did make a field recording for because I was a little flustered. And this brings us back to Doze. Their starter kit comes with a cool UV protected glass jar, which has a plastic lid. I don't know if they at some point had glass lids, but it would be nicer with a glass lid. Just saying. And a really awesome space age futuristic stemless wine glass shaped stainless steel insulated coffee cup. It's a cup. It's not a mug. There's no handle. It's a cup. I would love the same idea expressed in a more traditional coffee cup shape, a little bit bigger. I love the tapered aspect. Keep that. I love the lid. I love the chambered aluminum steel. But give me okay, here was my concern that I sort of anticipated when I very first got it. Never mind the heat issue. I've kind of... Oh, there goes some more objects falling on the thing. I've gotten used to the fact that I can't feel the warmth. That's a thing. It is a purely aesthetic thing. Because I appreciate more the fact that, especially with the lid on and the little sippy bit closed, this will keep any hot beverage hotter longer. And that's awesome. And maybe I'm just a douche for not having discovered these kinds of coffee mugs / cups sooner. I'm sure they didn't invent these just yesterday. But I digress. I did an experiment. I literally had half of a serving in this cup and half in another cup. And X amount of time later, they were different temperatures. Simple. So the problem that I sort of anticipated and hoped I would never encounter and totally encountered, I believe yesterday morning while making my second cup of this miraculous 3-product blend, which hopefully I hope it gets discovered and becomes its own crazy product, and that they like bring me on, right? Like I would love for them to merge or create a joint venture subsidiary company and then have this podcast be like its branded sponsored show. But there's a lot of people I wish would pick up the show and sponsor it. That'd be great. So the cup, the mixing, I was really excited because I just nailed a flavor thing. I found, I think with the previous cup that morning, that if I used the electronic whisker in the mixing vessel with just the right amount of hot water and added the milk that I was going to add, instead of a creamer, it becomes like a body froth ingredient as well, right? So, mixing vessel, and I just love this Starbucks travel mug. Don't sue me, Starbucks, because it's got a wide base and a tapered top, and it's big enough that I can make and mix and whip this with the whisker without worrying too much about it spilling. But the coffee mug, the Doe's coffee mug, I had just poured, and I was really excited because I think I nailed the proportions on that. I think from the smell of it, right? I got this like, this little perfect balance. Equal portions, 1/3 each. Everyday Dose, Rise, Mud Water. Hot water, almond milk, honey. And not the flavored almond milk with honey on it. Just the vanilla almond milk. Sorry. So yes, flavored, but not honey flavored. Just the regular vanilla. I think I was thinking about the honey vanilla flavor. I wasn't saying I was using that. I couldn't find that. I would have. But I had vanilla flavored almond milk and actual honey. So I take that. It looks like maybe a little over half of the final serving. I take the electronic whisker, whisk it, right? And then I top it off with hot boiling water so that it's still a hot, one last whiskey whoosh whoosh. And I poured it into the cup, put some things down, awkwardly reached for something across myself with my right hand, reached back, and boom! This mug tips, this dose, and no offense, guys, this thing just tips right over at the, like, look at it funny, and it tips over. And here's why, and here's, I felt this about it, and then I really double-checked and confirmed. The bottom has a no-skid rubber pad thing adhered to it. Awesome idea. Cute mushroom logo on it. Totally love that part. And here is the technical problem. The rubber pad, or whatever it's made out of, the pad is kind of thick. And it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the base of the metal cup. And the base doesn't offer an inset. So it's not countersunk. So the thing is, basically, although it looks like a flat bottom, it's actually on a tiny pedestal. And it's just enough that it leverages any action. Although it doesn't, see, it's no skid. So like, you've solved one problem, created another problem. It's not going to slide across my table like this coffee cup would. Watch. Or rather, listen, right? I just sort of tap this, and the coffee cup slides. If I try to do the same thing with the same gentle pressure with the Dose mug, it tips the fuck over. Because the circumference of the pad is smaller than the circumference of the base, creating a fulcrum. physics, yo. Like, I'm not an engineer, but if someone had brought me this design, I would have been like, whoa, 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 that's going to tip the fuck over. Either bring the mat all the way to the edge of the thing, or does alter the bottom so that it's countersunk, right? So that the pad sits flat and there's no leveraging tipping action. Gotta say it. Hopefully the otherwise brilliant, intelligent, super genius folks at Everyday Dose will pick up on this episode and go, yeah, we noticed that, and we run with it, countersink. Or use a larger circumference pad that doesn't sort of bulge in the middle. This has the tiniest bit of bulge in the middle. I don't know why. Or maybe my brain is playing tricks on me. I digress. Otherwise, other than that little critical flaw, brilliant. So the reason I remember that is because I was talking about staining. I just occurred. That spilled on some kitchen towel rags that I have that I keep specifically for mess prevention. And I noticed that even with paper towels, this soaked right up and there wasn't any slick residue left. There wasn't any staining. And although this is especially this combo drink, but each of these beverages are a little heavy on the residue. There's, there's sediment, but it's good, right? It's with mud water specifically because of the combination of the chai tea and the cacao, which is awesome. It doesn't taste like chai tea. People who don't like, I don't hate chai tea, but I'm not a huge fan. And it's sort of like a flavor I got to be either in the mood for or prepared for. And I was a little worried about that with mud water, but no. And it doesn't overwhelmingly taste of turmeric. Combined, this is a delightful, perfect alternative to coffee. And I loved, past tense, coffee. I was going to miss it almost as much as I miss my top 3 favorite ex-partners. I miss them with fondness and respect. But this combo, dare I say it, this polyamorous triad of Everyday Dose, Rise, and Mudwater is like the perfect it's the perfect polyamorous relationship I didn't know I was missing. Like, I need to be in a polyamorous relationship with the 3 of these all mixed up together in a cup because I love it. And I honestly, genuinely think, especially if you're even a little bit like, coffee, I wish it wasn't so bad for me, or, oh my God, coffee, I need it to stop. This is it, folks. I mean, there's probably other products out there that will do the trick for other people. And there's probably even other products out there that will do the trick for me. If you know of them, let me know. Send them my way. Post a reference, a referral in the comments for this episode. I'm going to try to do the individual assessment test this upcoming week. Today, though, I'm going to continue to severely enjoy this mix. Funny anecdote, that day of the spill, I immediately, I cleaned up, I was impressed, I looked at this mug, I compared it to, also, I didn't do this, I wasn't pulling at it, but the rubber mat, I just discovered that it's already kind of fallen off. What's up with that? We got a loose corner over here. It's a circle. There's no corners, but you know what I mean. At any rate, when I cleaned up and remade it and was like, yup, almond milk, honey, mix that together with the whisker before you top it off with the hot water, and then pour it into the thermos cup. And then, this is the funny bit, I was so excited about having recovered and cleaned up so quickly and so easily. I was so excited for that cup that I've been, tragically delayed in enjoying. that I completely blanked hard, and left the very new, almost completely full carton of almond milk out on the counter for the rest of the day. I didn't realize it, didn't see it again till right before I was going to bed. I don't know about almond milk, but I wouldn't drink a carton of milk that had been left out all day like that. And maybe some people might be going like, some people might be judging me and or mocking me and or feeling sorry for me because they might be secure in the knowledge that almond milk doesn't spoil at room temperature, especially not for like less than 4 or 5 hours. Well, I mean, full day, because I did get up kind of early that day. So let's just round it up, say it was an 8-hour day of sitting on the counter. Some people might be able to tell me with confidence, no worries, mix it in, put the rest of it back in the fridge, it's fine. But I didn't know for a fact, and I wasn't going to find out. Thank you very much. So I've been enjoying slightly less, although it's still very good, the same basic recipe, but with regular whole milk. But trust me, with almond milk, the makers recommend, I think they recommend oat milk, I think is the one that they like. I'm sure with any of the non-dairy milks, it tastes great because it's got an earthy, not quite nutty, but definitely earthy, mushroomy vibe to it without explicitly tasting of mushrooms. And then, of course, there's all the delightful recipes that the fans of each of these products have shared on their websites. I intend to dive into and explore the ones that seem appealing and hopefully get a little experimental and develop some of my own. Well, that's today's Coffee Alternative Update Report. Keeping it nice and short, we're going to wrap this show up at 33 minutes. But to see us out, here's a little bit of DJ Zed mixing the Swedish House remix live. And a track he calls Here We Go Once More. Now I'm going to remind you folks, the reason I'm doing this gimmicky segment series is because I genuinely am concerned about people's gut health. And coffee is not good for your gut. And we can do a deep dive into what the gut is. It's so much more than just the rumbling in your tummy that tells you when you're hungry. So it matters, folks. And 7 days in, I can assure you of this. 7 days of letting myself drink this willy-nilly. Like yesterday, I shit you not, I drank this later in the afternoon than I let myself drink coffee, and I rated myself fine. So I feel great 7 days in, and it's awesome. I just missed 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Darn it! Well, thanks for listening, folks. Peace out. Discount links and comments below. Snag yours now.